Mirror Realms, Episode 18 The Reflection That Wanted to Switch Places Part 1. The first sign I've always had a weird relationship with mirrors. Something about them made me uneasy. Maybe it was the way they felt like windows instead of reflections, like something on the other side was watching. Waiting. But I never imagined my reflection would try to take my place. It started as a feeling. A subtle unease every time I looked into the mirror, like I was seeing a version of myself that wasn't quite right. A tilt of the head that felt delayed. A blink that was off by a fraction of a second. I tried to ignore it, until the night I saw my reflection move, when I wasn't. Part 2, the first warning. It was past midnight when it happened. I had just finished brushing my teeth, about to turn away from the bathroom mirror when I saw it. A flicker. A subtle shift in my reflection after I had already moved. I froze. Stared at myself. Lifted a hand. The reflection copied me exactly. No delay this time. Maybe I was just tired. Maybe I imagined it. But as I turned to leave, my reflection didn't. It was still looking at me. Part 3, the reflection that changed. I told myself it was nothing. Just a trick of the mind, an overactive imagination. But then things got worse. One morning, I woke up and found fingerprints on the inside of the mirror. Long, smeared streaks. As if something had been pressing against the glass, trying to push through. I cleaned them off. But the next morning, they were back. And then one night, I woke up to the sound of tapping. Soft. Rhythmic. Coming from the mirror. Part 4, the message in the glass. I stopped looking into the mirror. I covered it with a bedsheet, shoving it into the corner of my room. Out of sight, out of mind. But that night, I heard whispering. I wasn't alone. A faint voice, distant yet impossibly close. Coming from the covered mirror. I didn't want to listen. But curiosity got the better of me. I pulled the sheet off. And for the first time, I saw it. A message. Written from the inside of the glass. Let me out. Part 5, the reflection that smiled. I should have run. Should have smashed the mirror right then and there. But I didn't. I stared at my reflection, at the person who was supposed to be me. And then, it smiled. I didn't. I turned and ran out of the room, slamming the door shut behind me. But I could still feel it. Watching. Waiting. And I knew, deep down, that it was getting stronger. Part 6, the switch. That night, I had the most vivid nightmare of my life. I was trapped inside the mirror. My room was there, but wrong. The colors were muted, the air was thick, heavy. And standing across from me, on the other side of the glass, was my reflection. Except it wasn't a reflection anymore. It was real. And it was taking my place. I screamed, pounded on the glass. But no sound came out. My voice was gone. And my reflection? It just waved. Then it turned around and walked away. Part 7, the return. I woke up in a cold sweat. For a moment, I thought it was just a dream. But then I looked around. Something was wrong. The room felt off. The shadows stretched in unnatural ways. The air felt thick, like I was breathing through water. I turned to the mirror and saw myself. Standing in my real room. But I wasn't in my real room. I was still inside the glass. I wasn't the one who had woken up. It was. Part 8, the final choice. I pounded on the glass, screaming. Begging. But my reflection just stood there, smiling. Living my life. I don't know how long I stayed trapped inside the mirror. Time doesn't feel real in this place. But last night, something changed. My reflection, the one who stole my life, looked afraid. It was staring into a darkened window, its eyes wide with terror. And then it whispered, "It's coming." The glass between us cracked. And now, I'm not the only one who's trapped. Something else is here. And it's watching us both.